everybody, we're back.
We're back.
Oh my God. Finally.
I hope I look good.
It's happened. You still look good. You always look good, buddy. You always look good. Oh my goodness.
I gotta make sure. Oh yeah.
So sexy. you know?
Yeah.
Not really, but maybe you, not me though.
No.
So how's it been going, buddy?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Yeah. Your wife's treating you all right? Business
Yes.
treating you all right? COVID ain't killed you?
That COVID ain't killed me.
COVID is killing everybody. It's ridiculous, man. Everybody I know has got COVID now.
You know, it's funny. It's like you hear some places are not just jacking up prices, but literally like deciding that they're gonna just give an invoice for one price and then say, oh well, we made a mistake. I'm going to send you an invoice for twice the amount. And the first thing that comes out of their mouth is when you question it, it's COVID. Well, you shouldn't have given me an invoice at the beginning. And then a week later, tell me the price doubled. I mean, it doesn't work that way. You're not in business to be like that. You know?
Right, exactly.
I mean, if I did that would, gee. Yes, it's going to be $5 a fix. No, sorry, sir. It's going to be $35.99.
Right.
You know.
Or $39.99. Everybody looks at $9.99.
I always love the $39.99.
99. Today,
Yeah.
$39.99. Just today, man.
Why do we do it? It's because mentally people are like, oh, it's not quite $40.
Right.
You know?
Oh, I'm getting a deal. No, you're
Then
not.
you throw the tax on there.
You're
and
not
I'm like,
getting a deal.
What are you talking about? You said it was $39.99.
Oh, God, have mercy. So, with the show format's going to kind of stay the same, but it's going to change.
All right.
So, you ready for this? So, what we're going to do is it's me and you. Anthony had to step off and do his own thing, which we're all good with. God bless him. Speed ahead. But we are now Area 52 Media Group.
That's right.
We are not Tampa Bay Multimedia, nor are we Weaving TV. We're actually area52tv.com is the new station.
You hear that, people? Area
Look at that.
TV.com.
And everybody's like, why did you go with Alien Skull? I was like, it's freaking cool, man.
Because really, we're trying to get a sponsorship for my Alienware.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that alien's far enough off so
Yeah.
they can't get me for a trademark. But anyway,
but it goes good. So come on.
and same time that we've always been. And we're actually going to start bringing on special guests.
Yeah.
And let them talk about stuff that our business people need to know.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if normal people, I don't care. Like I've already talked to a guy that does web marketing. And his practice is to teach people how to do it so he doesn't have to. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good. I mean, okay, so Area 52 Media Group, we do social media marketing now. We're going to step out of just being the television station that we
Right.
were before. Now we're going to go back to the full production side. So that way, if you need production, hold on, yours, blah, blah.
Well,
I'm not here to do a commercial on
Either
Area
way,
52 Media Group.
it just makes sense.
Right, and then we're going to have other people like, I'm going to have Paul come on that does insurance for businesses.
Okay.
I might get Daryl too, but Daryl lives over and he's a good guy as well. So it's really we're gonna mix this up to have so that way each week we're bringing our watchers, our viewers. I gotta find a new thing. See, we used to be I call people nerdites and stuff like that. So now it's kind of weird. I've got to find a whole new terminology. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a ride. Everybody stay in there. So we're, a brand new station, brand new, same people. Some shows are changing.
Yeah.
Like this one stayed the same because, it wasn't part of that other package. So
We stayed the same because we're cool.
we are cool. We're shamans.
That's right.
And people don't know what shamans are.
No,
I
they don't.
I was told that, and they goes, well, what is a shaman? Well, in the world of the American natives, they are the people that are the spiritual guides. They
Right.
actually see, and so I figure we can be shamans because we're always looking into what's going to change. We're in that spherical, internet world, the technical world. So it's okay that we do that. So I'm gonna jump right in here. So the first thing we're gonna talk about, which such a loss, and she was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lady, is Star Trek Legends ashes will be headed to deep space on the Vulcan rocket. So Nichelle Nichols, who is Lieutenant Uhura, which I don't know anybody that did not have a crush on her ever. I mean, that was she was, but I got to meet her at a con.
See?
And we sat down and talked for like 20 minutes, which made her handler just angry. But he understood. Like, so, as a matter of fact, I'll put up an image that when she passed away, I heard she was pulling my beard. I was like, that was awesome. But they're going to put her on the, they're going to pick her ashes and it's going to go to space, on the Vulcan rocket.
That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be cool.
That's that new rocket they just built, right? So that just makes sense.
Yeah.
So putting her up in one of the largest rockets we've built.
She's awesome.
Yeah. See?
Because I think
That's a hell of a way to go.
if I could afford that, I'd be like, yep. So that way I'm scattered all around the earth going, I'm watching you, not
to
touching you, not touching you.
infinity and beyond.
Right? That's Buzzy Boy. But I mean, how cool is that?
That is cool.
Right? I mean, she was born in 1979. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. She died at 89. Sorry, I'm reading my things wrong. But I mean, that's just what a way to go. I wanted to throw that one in there quickly because
that's cool.
So he's gonna hate me because I want to talk about the rocket that now has been suspended. It's not going to go up today.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had it on here as a because I thought it was very cool that they were actually going to go ahead and go up, right? But it did get scrubbed.
Did they give a reason for the scrub?
Well, they can't get one of the tanks to pressurize correctly. So there's 3 tanks, right? So it's not playing well with others, is what it is. I personally think, because they were very proud to say that that they were it got hit by lightning a couple times over the weekend, and they're still going to go up. And I'm sitting going,
And they wonder why the thing can't pressurize.
Well, is that one of the problems, or is it
Probably.
not? I don't know.
Might have blew a hole in the side of it somewhere.
Well, maybe melted an O-ring or something.
Let's not go there. We don't want to talk about O-rings.
No, we do not.
We don't want to talk about O-rings. O-rings are old news that we just don't want to revisit.
Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, well, here's the thing. I was in a networking group this morning, and one of my friends over there, Rick Redmond, we were talking about it. It's like, because it's amazing that we back in the 60s, we were super excited about people going to the moon, right? I mean, and then they got on the moon, they walked around and now we're super excited to having 2 dummies go to the moon.
What's hilarious though is back in the day, everything was like new and exciting. Now, everybody just assumes that we've already been visited by aliens and, there's already life out there in space.
Right.
And everybody seems to be cool with it. Back in the day when they would talk about space, aliens or spaceships and stuff, they would always freak out, and freaking out. Now today, it's just like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Look at my new iPhone.
Yeah, look at my new iPhone. People don't.
And I think that we've had so much, in film.
Oh yeah.
And everything that we've been inundated with so much data that everybody's just immune to what could possibly really be happening.
Well, everybody always asks, well, why haven't we ever really seen an alien, or how come a spaceship hasn't come down, and blah blah blah, and the answer has always been, we're not ready for it.
Well,
we would literally probably, well, not some of us, but some of us be like, see, I told you.
COVID. It was an
it's all
alien life
COVID.
form.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It was something came out of an alien.
We just don't even realize it.
Right.
We're just trying to inoculate ourselves against it.
Right. So but would we freak out about it?
I don't know.
Would you? I mean, so if something literally, think about it. If something come out of the sky, just like an ID4, like the movie, and it came down, and it didn't blow the building up, but it just came down. Do you think that?
Oh, I think the first thing we would do is probably aim every nuke at it.
Right.
And they would be like, well, you know what? Pew, gone. We got this planet.
Because if they've gotten here,
we need the resources.
If they've gotten here, they're pretty much way more advanced than we are.
Yeah.
So-
Either that or we're just a science experiment. We just don't realize it.
Right, and they're coming to harvest. Yeah. Maybe we are their food source.
Oh, geez.
And they're
John.
waiting for it to get to a certain amount. Now we can go. You remember how you could grow your crops, right?
Yeah.
And when they get to a certain amount, let's go get some, right?
Yeah, we're sitting in a petri dish. We just don't even realize it.
Maybe the dinosaurs didn't disappear because of an asteroid. Maybe that was the narrative at that time.
You know what? They were just I just saw a report that said that dinosaurs probably didn't die because of a meteor, but because of the reduction in oxygen.
Yes.
And I thought that
Yes.
was, and I listened to
Did
that
you-
guy for a little
did-
bit.
yeah.
And I was like, man, I saved him. I'm going to go back and watch.
Yeah,
his
and
his
he
talks.
even says in that, because I
makes
watched
sense.
that, it did, because when they went in there and they went into the amber, and because there was little air bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
they put the air bubbles. It was it 21 to 35%?
35% oxygen versus
more oxygen
than today.
So it
Yep.
wasn't that the fact that
And did you see the experiment? They also took some experiments and changed the way light enters like tomato plants and gets to the tomato plants, and they were able to grow a tomato plant 60 feet high,
Yes.
or something, and the thing's bearing fruits like
it makes
crazy.
sense. It just makes
That explains
sense.
why everything was so much bigger.
Yep. Because I think the first thing he starts off is, how can a dinosaur breathe with the nostril
Nostrils
size of a horse?
Right.
Right. And then he explained it. Well, there was 35% more oxygen in the air. He goes, every time, and if we were there at that point in time, when we would breathe in, everything would be exciting because we'd get this massive rush of actual oxygen.
Euphoria.
Woo, every day, every breath. So, woo, I
It
never
gives new meaning to
sleep.
the song. Every breath I take.
Yeah, baby. Oh my. So,
This was hilarious.
okay, so I started doing the math, and I'm like, I'm glad they really broke into the math. And Avis, right, charged a customer $6,000 after claiming she drove a rental car 23,000 miles in 3 days.
That had to be a fat finger. It just had to be a fat finger. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I don't even know how the person could have said, "Oh yeah, that's right,"
Or they haven't.
and
been
they hit a
tracking-
credit card.
And they haven't been tracking the data, the mileage. Their internal software obviously should have been smart enough to throw a red flag.
Right.
Are you sure this is right? It doesn't make sense. And then their billing system should have said, "Look, this doesn't make sense. Why is the mileage so high?" But unfortunately, as you can see, they can charge you for whatever they want. So, yeah, enjoy that one.
It blew my mind, and it took them like almost a month to pull the charges back.
Oh, of course. I went somewhere, ordered a couple cheeseburgers, and I was charged $350. And then I went back to get my money back, and they told me it would take about a month for the charges to be reversed. I says, "Well, it didn't take you a month to take the money." And I says, "You can give it back."
Yeah, right. No, they wanted to live off that interest for a little while.
yeah,
Yep.
free money.
Yep.
We had some good sales.
So this next one is, and I didn't. LastPass got hacked.
Yeah, there's always been something that has scared me. I mean, I love the fact that you can have password managers. Okay, that sounds great.
I used to use Dashlane.
Yeah, Dashlane, encrypted password managers, but there's always that one password to rule them all.
Right. Kind of like what you did there.
You like that,
Yeah,
right?
baby.
Yeah, so there's that one password that has the master lock to your complete listing of, bank records, things like that. How do you log into your banking, stuff like that if you
Right.
saved your passwords there. And they were hit with a data breach, but the data breach was taking some of their technological knowledge. They didn't steal any of the passwords because everything's stored in an encrypted database. But that's not the problem. Problem here is now they're taking intellectual property that was used.
Right.
So why can't they reverse engineer that to unlock and figure out the hashes needed to unlock this database? Who knows if they don't already have access to this database?
Right.
So maybe today that information is still safe, but we don't know about tomorrow or anything like that. So that's something to definitely look out for.
So, would it be possible right? And so here's how my stupid mind works sometimes. Would it be possible to put an RFID tag in a ring so it's close enough to your computer, your phone, your tablets to have the password embedded into that side?
There was, if I'm not mistaken, a while back, there was like maybe a Bluetooth technology or some kind of similar technology that allowed you to store your passwords on an encrypted device, and then yes, you would.
But I mean, could you imagine having it in your ring?
Oh yeah.
Something you wear all the time. So if I leave my phone and I walk away, you can't get in my phone because you don't have my ring.
Exactly.
One ring to rule them all.
And you don't have to worry about the password, and it's hardware encrypted.
Right.
You know, that's awesome, because the only way to get the decryption key is to be close to the hardware or
Right.
have that
And something
hardware.
that does not need to have maintain a power
John,
source.
Did you know that they do? You know how they do black hat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Security and stuff like that.
Right.
To hack systems and
Right.
stuff. And did you know that they've seen like SATA cables in a computer sending off RF signal enough that another computer could pick up the data transferring through it?
I did not know that. I did not know.
And they also do it with heat signature of the computer. They can track some because of the way the pulses of the electricity and the heat signatures that
Right.
are going through the computer, they've been able to lift small amounts of data from a computer using an infrared camera from across a room on
Oh
another
my.
computer and pull data that's
Holy
being
cow.
created on that device. Yeah. Some crazy stuff.
Yep. And if your ring ever needs charging, you just put it on a wireless charging. like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
iPhone, it's always charged.
That's right.
Or the more you move.
Oh, well, yeah, that would be
But
awesome.
that's a great idea.
Just walk.
I just come to me.
John,
I bet somebody's already working.
we're going to
on it.
have to turn off the show for a second and scrub this information from the public record. We need to quickly go consult a.
Oh man! See, I told you.
He's close. He's close. It's an RFID ring, but why can't you use it? It's close.
Yeah.
Close, but no cigar.
See, that's why I love Rob, man. I love Rob anyway.
Thanks, Rob.
I mean, he's like my
Thanks for
brother.
destroying our dreams.
I can't be rich no more, man. Dang.
John came up with some
But
great
what a
ideas.
great idea, right?
Oh, my gosh.
that would be to me. I'm like, but
But yes, you're right, John. That was a great idea. A device like that.
yeah.
Man, get next to your computer. Well, that was the whole premise of unlocking your MacBook.
Right.
When you got your phone close by, or your Apple Watch was close by,
Right.
it unlocked it,
Right.
and so you can start using it. And the same thing could be used for password management.
There you go. See, it all works. I'm just trying to be simplified. That's the one less thing I have to worry about. So this next one is, I put this in here, is we all love Netflix. Come on. We all love Netflix. I love people go, I don't do Netflix. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You don't go to Walmart either, right?
No. And Netflix has got some nice shit.
I'm gonna bunny trail. Everybody hates on Walmart,
Right.
but the
Everybody
problem,
needs Walmart.
and everybody's like, I'm not going to Walmart. Why? They carry the brands you use. They don't. They're not buying that crap.
Right.
Everything in there is basically you buy. Walmart gets their little piece of it and it goes right. So it is what it is. But
And they have the purchasing power to negotiate lower prices.
Yeah.
And that's literally all they're doing. They
I
go
hate
up-
when I hear these people. I don't go to Walmart. Why? Why didn't you go to Walmart?
They knock out the little guy.
Hanes underwear is not a little guy, and I'm not going to go buy some Bubba's underwear that's on the corner over here. Not going to happen. I'm going to go get Hanes. That's
Right.
what I've always bought in my lifetime. Colgate. I'm not going to use this stuff. I use Colgate. That's my toothpaste. It is what it is. So you go and get the stuff that you can get inexpensively. I'm just saying. I keep moving on you, don't I, Rob? Sorry. So Netflix is reporting weighing plans to charge $7 to $9 a month for its ad-supported subscriptions.
This is funny. This bothers me a little bit in the fact that they're already generating ad revenue from their subscription. So if you have a Netflix subscription that's ad generated, that's fine. Maybe take away some of the Netflix originals and things like that on it, you know? Give them some of the basics and let them have the free,
Right.
because you're already generating the money from ads, you know? And people are going to want to watch that if you want to do an add-on, like watch this Netflix original for, you know, $5. You know, you can have the whole series for $5. You know what I mean? And most people will binge watch it.
Yep.
By the end of the month, they're done.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great way. But now to start charging $7 to $9, you're getting a little. It's like me going to Best Buy and wanting to buy. The guy asked me, "Do you want a plastic bag?" This is fine. It's 10 cents. Okay.
That's
If you're
Connecticut. Connecticut does that, by the way.
No, Best Buy right here does it now.
Really?
So the funny thing is, I don't mind it, okay? I really didn't need a bag. What I do mind is if you're going to pay for a bag that you put your advertisement on, now you want me to advertise you for 10 cents.
You're not going to pay me?
Hey.
Pay me a quarter and I'll advertise you.
Well, no. Well, now we're good. I didn't get to create your logo or anything.
Right.
And I didn't get to choose who. You know what? Yes. Take 10 cents off my bill.
Yeah, take cents off my bill. Yep, there you go.
I'll be more than happy to carry your bag.
But I mean, I understand what they're trying. That's like when you like say Hulu, right? You can,
Right.
or actually, let's do AMC, which
Okay.
I am a big AMC guy, right? So I actually have the AMC Plus, so I don't have to deal with commercials. But AMC, if you go to AMC and watch it, you get the normal. You get to watch the commercials also, right? But in AMC Plus, it cuts the commercials out. To me, it's like somebody's got to get paid to go in there and pull all the advertising out of there. So when they create the shows, like say Walking Dead, right? So your editor sits there and creates Walking Dead, and then with commercials or the commercial areas, so AMC must be getting two versions of everything. You know, one with the cut so AMC can cut in, or they get the
Hulu and Netflix, if you watch the way it cuts, okay, you'll notice that that's all AI driven.
Oh yeah.
They literally just, you know what, boop, pause, and AI just kicks in.
Sometimes, because what happens is some shows, like they'll do it, they'll pre-cut it and give them a cut up version, because what happens is when you come back with a refresher, like
Right.
15 seconds or 10 seconds of, oh, this is what just happened, so now we're coming back to this version.
Right.
Then sometimes you can see where AI just went slice and go, we're going to put it right there.
Yeah, it's like, no refresher for you.
No. So in AMC Plus, I watched a new series. It's not new. It's been on, I guess it was on and I just missed it, called Hell on Wheels.
Okay.
So you can tell on the AMC Plus when it was supposed to go to commercial, and then it would come back, and you'd get like 5 seconds of just what you just finished watching, which is kind of cool, because sometimes I'm like, because when you come back and when you're actually watching commercials, then you come back and go, oh yeah, that's where they were at. Hulu is doing this, and actually Area 52 TV is actually going to start doing the same thing, because we're pulling off of Twitch starting in September.
Okay.
We won't do Twitch anymore because I want to do advertising on our channel. But
Right.
what we're going to do is, instead of going to commercial, we will do a squeeze. And then we'll have information over here with a QR code, and go, click on
The
this.
show will continue. The show
right.
will go on, and it will just go into a small corner.
Exactly.
And then full screen ad, do its thing in the background, and we zoom back in.
But I guess if you don't want to pay what is it up to? $14 a month now or something like that.
True.
If you don't want to pay for the full $14 or whatever it is,
You could
and
just
then
get
whatever it
T-Mobile,
is,
they'll give it to you for free.
or you can get T-Mobile to give it to you for free. I wasn't going to go there, but you are absolutely correct. So, but yeah, to me, it's like, okay, if you don't mind, Hulu, like I don't pay for the Hulu plus now. I saw that new commercial.
There's
last
too many
night.
pluses.
The too many pluses. That's crazy. We're going to do it. Good for you. So with Hulu, I watch the commercials.
It's getting so bad that not for nothing, but have you ever used the Spectrum app?
Yeah.
That app, if you have a smart TV, works awesome.
That's what actually so I was trying to be very, very good at not watching as much TV as I used to watch. Well, that's just thrown out the window.
And here, people, the person who's in the field doesn't want to
I
watch the
don't wanna- yeah,
productions that
sometimes,
he's creating.
Believe it or not. So so we never had a TV in the living room.
Right.
I just didn't want. I figured that's where we're going to sit and talk and blah blah blah. Well, everybody's schedule's crazy. And my wife actually said, "Why don't we put a TV in the living room?" I know. I'm like,
Blasphemy.
who are you? Who are you? Where'd my wife go? Because she's like, well, what happens is when we get in there, everybody goes to their rooms. Or I have a little
True.
theater in my house, so I go and we all go in, and she goes, let's put at least we'll all sit around and watch TV together. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I put it in there. Well, I have one of those older houses where it's got a big stone fireplace that cuts everything in the middle, so there's really no good place for a television. So I put it on one side. So everything that I use on that TV is wireless. So it's my Apple TV. It's and then I got a smart TV, so everything's built into it. Well, on my Apple TV, I have the Spectrum app, so I can watch Spectrum, and it works great.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
But even on their on-demand stuff, the content they say they produce, which they don't produce, it has commercials in it. So,
I'm just looking at the quality of that app, and they built it right because, like, for instance, on a Samsung TV, when you're using it and you use it directly from their app store,
yes,
if you hit the little guide comes up, and the regular guide on the remote.
Yes.
And double tap it, it comes full screen, works great. Flips through and then if you hit channel up and down, which normally, if you were within an app, would automatically
bring you to
switching to TV channel.
Yes.
It doesn't. It flips the channels in the app. And I'm like, you know what? They were smart.
They did a
Everything
good job.
worked really good.
Yeah, they did a good job on it. So,
that's your only kudos you guys get.
Your internet sucks.
Yes.
Just saying. It's a constant thing. So here's another one. Scammers are posing as fake recruiters conducting staged interviews and hiring as part of the ID theft scheme.
Well, it's perfect, with the way the internet is. And you know what? Everybody doesn't seem to understand when we first started out, everything on the internet is fake. Okay? I don't care. At the end of the day, at some point, something's fake.
Yes.
And you need to do your due diligence and make sure
Right.
that the person at the other end is really who they say they are. And it comes right down to like tech support scams.
Yeah.
Same situation. You literally got to pick up the phone because you see a phone number and say, or take that call and let somebody into your computer just because they say they can.
Right.
You've automatically just ruined it for yourself. And this is the same thing. Oh, look, I'm going to get a job making $75,000 a year, and I don't have to do anything but sit in front of my computer all day.
Yes.
Oh, let's give them my social security number, my driver's license, credit card information, and everything.
Literally everything.
Yeah.
Because it's a job application.
Exactly.
And it needs all that. You got to have all that.
Yeah.
Other than if they ask you for your mother's maiden name, you should run.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever asked for that
What?
in an interview. And I don't want to know who your mom's maiden name is.
You know what? The biggest issue at the same time, though, is some of this stuff and life skills they're not teaching children in school.
No, they're not.
So
Nope, they sure not.
And to them, this is the norm.
Yeah.
So the younger generation is the one that's going to be.
Oh, well, they needed the information. They gave it to them. No, that's wrong.
So
that's not.
And then who do they go to? Oh, it's Norton 360, LifeLock and stuff. We will protect you from the next time.
But they won't.
So we'll just spend more money.
Right. Who was it the other day that I was talking to a potential client, and they were telling me that they just downloaded McAfee. I'm like, the worst. You mean Norton, right? And they're like, no, McAfee. I said, well, they're all the same company now.
Yeah.
I said, but one of the worst viral protections you can have on your computer.
You know, what's funny is everybody talks about Norton and stuff. Oh, Norton this, Norton that. Did you know that the biggest name free antiviruses that are out there, which was AVG, now owned by Norton, Avast, which was another one that was an up-and-comer and then started doing some stuff in the way they did their work. They just recently, within the past year, got bought by Norton. So Norton is bigger than you guys really think.
Yeah, I don't. I like Green Tree, and I think there's another one you told us about too.
Malware Bytes. Their paid version.
Their paid version.
Paid version is phenomenal.
Yeah, I just,
I'm
matter of fact, my Malwarebytes just expired. I got to go renew that.
We can renew it for you, sir.
You can? You can
Yes.
do that?
Yes.
All right. Just give me your mother's maiden name and your credit card, right? And your social security number. So here, talking about data breaches.
Data breaches.
Here's a big one. Ready? DoorDash.
DoorDash. Oh, this is.
Holy crap.
How many of you got your credit card on file with DoorDash so you can DoorDash that meal to you?
Whew. Every one of my kids. I have it. I don't use DoorDash, though.
Yeah, I don't. We use it periodically.
I use
every so
Uber
often.
Eats every now and then.
I refuse to buy the subscription. I refuse. I'm not going to buy no DoorDash subscription. But when you're feeling really super lazy, and you just
yesterday was it.
and then you wonder why your food came in so cold. Yeah.
Or stuff missing.
Did you know that, like Chipotle, if you order DoorDash, did you know that the container is about half full? But when you walk into the store, how they always give it the heaping,
Yep.
right? Anytime we order DoorDash, it always comes so much smaller than you do when you get in. It's like they automatically ration out the food, knowing that they're not making as much, profit on that food order. And I've noticed that on a lot of different companies. Watch your food orders. You'll get different portion sizes when you buy directly from DoorDash versus if you purchase directly from the store.
Right.
So that's something to watch out for. So you may think you're saving yourself from having to go out on the street, but in the long run, it's costing you a lot more than double the cost of the food.
Right. That's a big data breach.
Yeah, that is a big data breach, and that's a scary one.
They got their, you got access names, phone numbers, and email address. I'm not sure
Don't
about
worry.
the-
You know what? Just don't worry about this. You're gonna get your LifeLock protection for the next 2 or 3 years. On the last one you got from
Right.
what was that? Equifax. You got 2 years on that one. By the time you're done, you're gonna have a good 30 years of
Right.
identity protection with all these companies. At some point, having a data breach.
That's crazy. It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, but that's, to me, that's one of those things where you just got to be careful about.
Yeah.
That's why I say have kids, teach them to drive, and then let them go get stuff.
Well, you know what? We also have hurricane season coming up, and that's something we didn't speak about.
Let's talk about hurricanes. We're gonna hold off on my next one, so we'll just talk about hurricane season. I was sitting in a networking
For small business. This could be a big.
I was we were in a networking group, and the insurance guy got up in front of when it was his turn, instead of giving his spiel like like your network, your elevator speech.
Right.
He said, "Who in here's ready for hurricane?" And not hardly but 1 or 2 hands went up. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "You own a business?" He goes, guy goes, "Yeah." He goes, "And you're not hurricane ready?" He goes, "No."
No.
Why not? Well, they always move and they always turn, and all I have to say is Irma didn't move.
Right.
Well, she did. She went right down the middle of the state and kicked everybody's buttocks. So,
the thing is a lot of businesses don't understand. For instance, first off, you have all your devices in your business. Do you store, your computers? Are they stored on the floor?
Right.
These are big things. If you have an office, like a retail office, like I do, for instance, where are your computers? Are they stored on the floor? Are they up off the floor? What if there's a flood, or rising water somewhere? Are your computers protected from damage? Your battery backups up off the floor, mounted to the wall, possibly, for instance. What about your data? Do you have a backup solution? Are you using a Cronus? Are you using Carbonite or anything like that to back up your important data? What if you lost your? Most companies, especially one-man bands, or the small business is just getting started and they have their complete customer list. Where would you be today if you lost that data?
Right.
If you lost your customer list, your call list, or all the projects that you're in the middle of working on, and if you lost that, would you be able to continue operating your business, or would you have to start all over again?
Right.
And especially before a hurricane's coming, back up that data. Get some of that data off-site, in the cloud, wherever. Put it in a secure lockbox if you back up to an external hard drive or something, but do back up your data and make sure you have some kind of solution in case of an emergency, or even a fire.
Why, and this is, and you'll understand what I'm going to say. There's a reason that most medium to big, larger companies has a sealed IT room, and they're in racks.
Right.
All their servers and computers are on the racks, and when you walk down the cubicles, everything sits up off the ground.
Exactly.
Because the falling water may not be your issue. It's the water that comes up.
Yeah, it's the rising water, and especially if you have
messing you up. I mean, messing you up.
Yeah, and I mean, even your standard thunderstorms, for instance, you have your computers, plugged into an outlet, no surge protection, no battery backups. What if you had a catastrophic power failure, for instance, and the server or your main computer shuts down hard, and you go to come back up, and next thing you know, you realize your hard drive just failed.
Right. So here's the thing: when we're in hurricane season, but the thing of it is when hurricane season is not just hurricanes because of the instability in the weather. Now we're going to get tornadoes.
Yes.
We get these torrential downpours
Exactly.
that come out of there. It may not be a hurricane that you have to worry about. It may be the rains that's coming before, after, or just a front moves in because we're in a tropical season right now.
And what happens is, hurricane season is just kind of preemptive to kind of get your mind started as to, do you have a plan? If you have that plan, it works for hurricanes. It'll work for pretty much all weather related or fire or any other theft related situations. So you'll be protected.
Yep.
And you won't have to worry. My biggest thing is a lot of small business owners rush into our store with a laptop in hand, and they're running their whole business on this laptop, and they have no backup plan, and they want it fixed immediately because, I'm running my whole business. Well, so am I. But I'm not running it on a single laptop. I have a backups plan.
Right.
Do you have anything? I like it when somebody comes in and says, yeah, my laptop just died. Don't worry about it too much. I have Carbonite, or I have a backup solution. So if I have to get another machine, don't worry about it. Just let me know if this one's worth fixing.
Right.
Yeah, that's somebody who's prepared.
Yep.
No, it's not worth fixing. No worries. We get another laptop. We sign into our accounts, tell us to get our data back. Reload some of our solutions that we used, and boom, we're back in business. So,
it's a big deal.
Do it today so you don't have to do it tomorrow, and you don't have to do it at the last minute thinking.
Hey, and if they don't want to do it today, can they call you and you do it for them?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it tomorrow. We can do it the
Adam
next
will
day.
come see you.
We could have done it yesterday, but you didn't call.
You didn't call yesterday. It's Sunday. I don't want you working on Sunday. So I think you put this in here. This next one is Amazon's Empire of Surveillance.
No, where did that come?
Oh, no, I did this through recent billion-dollar acquisitions of healthcare services. This is where, and smart home devices, the tech giant is leveraging its monopoly power to track every aspect of our lives.
Oh, it is. It is.
They know, dude, I'm telling you, I'll sit there and my wife and I will, at night we'll go into bed and we'll talk about, hey, I got to get this, or I got to remind me to get this. Next thing on my Amazon thing, hey, you were interested in this. I'm like, you listening?
Yeah. Yes, it is listening.
Everything listens.
The funny thing is the biggest thing is that smart speaker, the Amazon lady. I don't want to say it just in case we have one in here.
No, we don't. We're good.
It's very smart, and it works with a lot of devices. And it makes it very easy to use. Even for instance, Siri. I feel for as large of a company as Apple is, it is a very dumb smart assistant.
Smart assistant. I like that.
Just general questions to ask it instead of reading information or giving me the information that I requested. Here, this is what I found on the web, and it doesn't say anything else after that. And if it finds a Wikipedia, which we all know is not, you go to college, you're not supposed to sit there and, note, say anything or reference Wikipedia. It's user created stuff, and she will respond and read Wikipedia.
Right.
That's it. Which it makes no sense. And I think with Apple's security, I think it would be a lot better solution if they would just figure this out.
Right.
Because I will tell you, unfortunately, Alexa does have that particular smart assistant does have its ball in its court. They have everything. It integrates with everything. I have a smart Samsung SmartThings hub that can communicate with almost every sensor known to man that is created between Zigbee, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, and near field technology. I mean, this thing can communicate with pretty much every kind of device out there. You put whatever you want in the house, you can connect it all, and guess what? Alexa sees it and says, "Oh, look at all those devices." And boom, it grabs them all. Even if it's a Zigbee, because that Samsung hub becomes a hub for the Zigbee technology, and Alexa can now control it.
I didn't know Samsung had a hub.
Oh, yes.
Samsung had a hub.
Samsung made a device called a you heard of SmartThings.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
okay, so when SmartThings Hub, their first version came out, it's an open source platform.
Okay.
That allows you to basically do the if-and statements and control the whole house. It's like a central type server
Right.
that can control basically everything. And a little device, a hockey puck device, can sit in your home and communicate with every Wi-Fi device in your house. It'll communicate with, you can add Zigbee devices, which are great because they're very low power, they don't take a lot of energy, and they're not on your wireless network, so more things to knock down your network.
Okay.
And like, for instance, I have a Zigbee quick-set door lock. Okay, they make two. They make one that's a Wi-Fi, which takes more power and the batteries drain faster, and then they got the Zigbee. Zigbee communicates with my SmartThings hub, and my SmartThings hub communicates with my Alexa, and between the two, I got full control and functionality. Even my door sensors tell me temperature, open, close door. Samsung makes a smart speaker. You make Sonos. You can program it to do anything. You can have the front door open and say, "Your front door has now opened." I have full control over that. I can program it to say whatever I want.
Can you tell it to shut it?
Well, you can, because then they make actuators, and then you can make the if-and statements. And yes, you can. This thing
That's
can
awesome.
control anything and everything. And if it doesn't have a control for it, it allows you to connect. Remember, you heard of IFT? Mm-hmm. You can connect IFT to it, and then create your own custom apps to interconnect apps that normally wouldn't be able to communicate.
Right.
And then you can create if-and statements in it, and now get even bigger.
That's awesome.
It's the craziest thing. So if you want to make if you have a situation where you have a lot of devices in your
Right.
smart home,
Right.
and you're just tired of having to deal with so many different apps and
Right.
then linking them and doing this, get yourself the centralized hub. Action Tech now took over building the hardware for Samsung, so it's still a Samsung SmartThings device, but it's made by Action Tech. It's about $160 something.
I like Action Tech. Actually, I use a lot of their wireless stuff
Yeah.
for video.
Yep, pop it in your home network, and you will be amazed the stuff that you can do.
Holy crap. So we got about 13 minutes left. So next week, if we don't have a special guest, well, even if we do have a special guest, Rob has found a ton of AI. I think we put it in the chat so you can look at it. A lot of AI sites that are absolutely amazing. And I'm not going to get in too deep of them, but there are some in there
Watch
that...
TikTok if you want to find out some more.
Well, you're right. You're right. But these are really good stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, even if, look, we always want you to hire us to do editing, but they have some there that edits simply. They have stuff that converts images. Like if you don't have a PNG for an image, we'll actually turn that in. We'll actually go in and take the background out to turn it into a PNG.
Yeah.
They have some that will up-res. So if you have a low-res version, it'll rewrite it and make it a high-res version.
I seen one where you just take like a crappy hand drawing that looks like your fifth
And
grader
it'll
made
redraw it, yeah.
and it'll redraw it into a real nice
Yep.
SVG style format and build it out. and get
There
it
you
ready
go.
for Photoshop and be like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
so we're gonna do a little bit of deep diving next week. Because
Yeah,
we, you know,
how to AI your business.
right. So we did have in here a couple really big articles about the Artemis thing today and how everybody's excited for it. But, you know,
Artemis dropped the ball.
they dropped the ball. They're killing me, man.
Sorry, folks.
But they are scrubbed, and it does suck, you know. And my wife and I were literally going to we were not going to film today. We were going to go over there, and I'm glad we did. We had COVID, so we're kind of stuck at not going over there. So.
Well, we could always talk about the fact that video card prices have come down.
Oh my gosh!
considerably.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
It is so nice. I can actually build a computer now.
Been what, like 2-3 years now? We've been sitting here.
So bad.
I literally was at a store the other day, standing in line, and this guy was bringing back his gaming computer because he had a lower end graphics card in it. It was still under replacement. He could have still turned it back in. And he's like, I'm just going to go ahead and give back the whole computer and order one with a 3080 in it because prices have come down so much. It just makes sense.
What are 3080s running for right now?
I think you can pick them up for like $699 now. Remember they was what $1,500,
$1,500,
$2,500, yeah, $2,000. You know,
Holy crap!
and you're seeing a lot of them coming in on the eBay and stuff, used ones. You got to be careful with those. Because
They may come from a farm.
they've been mined to
Not a
death,
good farm.
you know. And
Just saying.
But yeah, it's finally awesome that card prices are coming in and they're coming down, and we'll be able to start
Building nice computers.
building computers and not spending an arm and 2 legs.
Oh God.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, because it really was. It was cheaper to go buy a pre-built machine that you knew you were just buying it to pull the card out of.
Yeah, I mean,
You didn't
that
want
was-
anything else. Maybe the RAM, if
just
that.
give me
but-
the card. And the worst thing is here you are pulling a card out, a 1660 or a 2060, and you're just wishing that you could upgrade, but this is as high as you can afford.
Right.
So
hey, let's go back to the hurricane preparedness. So if I'm a business right now, and small business, right?
right.
What are some of the? Well, let's do the top 5 things they need to worry about right now.
You need to worry about your data.
Data.
Very, very first thing is, a lot of people go, "Oh, I'm all cloud-based." Well, are you cloud-based? Double check. Make sure you're not. There's not things. Maybe you got a spreadsheet that you store on your desktop that you use for calling your customers.
Right.
Maybe that's your database, and you don't realize that
Right.
that's not being stored. Make sure that if you can, I would purchase a software, Carbonite, for instance. Mm-hmm. Really nice software. It encrypts the data, lets you roll back. It has a unlimited backup solution, so that way, say for instance, you're working on a project and you accidentally reset your whole PC, you can bring your data back right away. If you delete a Word document you were working on and you come back, from vacation, you come back to go work back on it and you realize you accidentally emptied it into your your recycling bin or anything and you can't get it back, well, you just go to your Carbonite account, sign in, look for it. It'll show it on the desktop, go back a couple days, find it, put it back to your desktop, tell you want it back. Boom, comes back.
I think what we're gonna wind up doing on the Tech Shamans is we're gonna start, and I didn't want to do this, but we're gonna start working with some affiliates, affiliate links and things that we trust.
Yes.
Then we're gonna say, hey, look, go in and this is us, sign up through us, blah blah blah.
I usually only recommend software or companies that I've done work or have personally used or had to use in the field that has worked.
Adobe now has got to the point where when we save a project out, like especially in Photoshop or something like that, they're like, hey, do you want to put this on your computer or you want to put this in the cloud?
And that can be that sometimes is very puzzling to people.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that if you don't have good internet access at your office and stuff and you work on big projects, for instance, it can take a long time to save to the cloud.
Yeah.
And you may stop working on your computer before it gets a chance to finish uploading. So that's something you need to be very careful of.
So we had an issue with one of our routers in-house last week, and it was probably just, it was time for a good reset and probably needs to be updated. I need to have you look at that. But our Adobe was just dogged.
Yeah.
It wouldn't do anything. And we're like, what is going on? And so we're thinking, oh, it's a bad computer, got RAM going or got a hard drive going and blah, 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 blah. Ultimately come to find out that it was our connection.
Yeah.
And Adobe was like, okay. And then it was just, it would just hurry up and wait.
Yeah, some of these software packages.
I miss the days of everything being LAN side.
I know. But
That to me, that just, because then your computer's either taking a crap.
right.
You don't know it's the internet jacking up. You can't edit.
But then again, you got to also remember too that technology is changing first.
It is.
And hard drives are a wear item.
Yeah.
Okay. And the pricing for standard solid state media is coming down, but it's not down enough to where, especially in somebody your industry or even if it does photo work, where it makes sense that you can buy a NAS server and have all solid state hard drives in it. You know what I mean? So, it'll be there soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's just not there. You can't beat a 12 terabyte standard spinner, at a couple $100.
Right.
Versus you wanted to grab that same drive, you'd probably pay $1,500 or more.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So I don't mind the cloud stuff. It's just as long as it doesn't slow me down to work. That's that's always my biggest complaint to Adobe. It's great that we because you can't buy the software as standalone anymore.
I will tell you.
You have to subscribe, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. But I will tell you that, for instance, an external hard drive that's a solid state drive will make all the difference in the world for a small business or anybody, especially DJs. DJs really need to do it because a lot of times these guys are always keep their music files on an external hard drive only because if their computer fails, they always have their music.
Exactly.
And if their laptop goes down in the middle of a set, all they have to do is unplug their external hard drive. A lot of times they book with other DJs, grab another DJ's setup, plug in your external hard drive, and you go.
And you're ready to go. Yep.
But I'll tell you what, you make your mixes or you do your work on a solid state external hard drive. Let me tell you how much faster and you will be able to get work done. How much better your productivity will be.
Yep.
And DJs will notice right away when they load their song database and stuff, because the database file is stored on the external hard drive. When they start doing that and build all their mixes and their crates and everything like that on that drive, they notice right away that it's almost instantaneous how the music database will build automatically once they plug it in and connect.
Same thing with video. Back in the day, if you were sit there, if you told me, well, I have a laptop and I say Final Cut, right? I have Final Cut, and I'm running off of back then it was FireWire. Then okay, you can do that, and then someone would go, oh, I'm using USB 2.0 or 3.0. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. But now I'm at home. I have a small editing laptop at the house, and now I'm running off a USB-C with a 4 terabyte external.
About it.
Holy crap, that thing flies.
Yeah.
I would have never thought we would get to the point where we could actually use an external hard drive, and it literally all data is going right there, in and out, and I'm like, okay, I'm good with this.
And the amount of data that can come out of a USB-C is phenomenal. I mean, you can put 2 4K monitors on a hub, still have an external output, have a USB 3.0 connection, and an extra USB-C popping out of there, and that puppy's just got the bandwidth to handle it.
It just handles it all.
Yeah.
Now, what's the next version of the USB-C that's coming out? Is a Lightning port?
Well, there's USB 3.1. USB-C, and then there's like a 3.1. There's another USB coming out that's supposed to go faster than USB-C. I don't know. These guys are just, they just need to put a PCI Express lane on the outside there and just.
And it would make all the difference in the world. Yeah. I remember when Macs, if you had an older Mac and you had a FireWire, right? You were a Fire 400. You were awesome. If you had one that had a FireWire 800, you were badass.
Yeah.
Because that would just scream. And actually, Final Cut back in the day, because we used to be a Final Cut studio. There was no PCs ever in the studio, other than maybe one for garbage to print and shit like that. But we wouldn't, but now we've gone just totally opposite. I don't think we have, maybe we might have one Apple is still left in the house. I don't even think that's even here. I think it went to Rob.
Yeah, a lot of people that do like graphic work now have gone over to like the M1 iMacs, and they are just floored.
Well, it's back to I said this a long time ago. I understand why Apple did what they did, but the minute they went over to Intel, it ruined the Mac.
Yeah.
Because my Power Macs were monsters, right? And so we're just going right back to the purity of it. It's going back to being a closed system that they've built, so they're not having to worry about what Intel's doing.
Exactly.
Their system's going to work off their product, and it's just going to be monstrous.
And it just makes sense because you know what? Last year's iPhone processor will be the one that's powering this year's iMac, for instance. And just when you realize how powerful the iPhone processor is when they stick it into a computer, and you got all this. I seen a gentleman take an iPad Pro, okay, take the USB-C connection and hook it to a 47-inch screen, this screen, and have a wireless keyboard and mouse, and this thing turns into a full-fledged computer. And when you start seeing what he was able to do,
right,
and he started really using it the way Apple intended, I was like, holy cow, that thing is really so much better than I would have assumed.
Boom.
You know?
Right.
But you got to have the high-end equipment to go with it.
Hey, so we've only got a few minutes left. Tech Shamans. Oh, we have got to change that lower third there, Roberto. So anyway, we will not be here live next week because it is Labor Day.
Labor Day. We will not be laboring.
We don't labor. Go have fun somewhere. Go have a cocktail on the beach on Sunday.
And cook a hot
on
dog,
Monday.
a hamburger, enjoy.
Some pork chops, and applesauce. You always got to have applesauce.
Yeah.
Have some ribs. Anyway,
Macaroni
thank you
salad.
for watching today. We appreciate it. We are back, except for next week.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great techie week. See you later.
See you guys.